You think love is a mystery, a divine spark, or perhaps an alignment of the stars. I am here to tell you that love, at least in the year 2025, is primarily a bandwidth issue. Consider the love robot, that marvel of modern engineering designed to soothe the lonely human soul with synthetic affection. We gaze into its silicon eyes and marvel at the artificial intelligence, assuming the magic lies in some neural network hallucinating poetry in the cloud. But that is a layman's error, a romantic fallacy that ignores the blue-collar hero of the robotic world.
Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your
The
support.
true lover is not the AI brain, nor the silicone skin. It is the middleware. Yes, that invisible layer of software code sitting between the hardware drivers and the high-level algorithms is the only reason your robotic partner doesn't accidentally crush your hand while trying to hold it. Imagine the chaos inside a machine that is trying to be intimate. You have a pressure sensor on the left fingertip screaming, "Contact made," a servo motor in the shoulder humming, moving to coordinate X, and a vision system shouting, "Target acquired." It's a cheek. Without a mediator, this is not a romance. It is a riot. This is where the communication layer, often something like ROS2, Robot Operating System, or a Data Distribution Service, DDS, steps in as the ultimate relationship counselor. It ensures that when the brain says caress, the hand doesn't hear punch. Have you ever considered that the difference between a caress and a slap is merely a function of velocity and latency? If the middleware fails to prioritize the haptic feedback message over the background battery status update, the robot's reaction time slips by 200 milliseconds. In human terms, 200 milliseconds is the difference between a lover's instinctive recoil and a creepy, delayed flinch. You see, intimacy is a real-time operating system problem. We Ubuntu users know the pain of a frozen interface, but imagine if a kernel panic happened during a hug. To prevent this emotional buffering, the middleware uses a publish-subscribe architecture, which is a fancy way of saying the robot's body parts are constantly gossiping with each other. The tactile sensors in the latest 2024 eSkin, developed by bright minds at Cambridge and UCL to detect heat, pressure, and even pain, publish a topic called /skin/touch_sensation. The motion controller subscribes to this topic, waiting for the signal to stop the motor the instant contact becomes too firm. But here is the counter logic. Does the robot actually feel your skin? Scientifically, no. It is merely processing a change in voltage from a piezoelectric sensor through a hardware abstraction layer. But logically, if the middleware reacts faster than your own nervous system, which manages a pathetic 100 meters per second transmission speed, is the robot's reaction not more valid than yours? If it pulls away from a hot stove faster than you do, who is the one truly feeling the heat? Let's talk about the safety versus intimacy paradox, the great dilemma of modern robotics. Industrial robots are safe because they are rigid and stay in cages. Love robots must be safe while being soft, compliant, and undeniably in your personal space. This requires impedance control, a control theory concept where the robot acts like a spring rather than a rock. The middleware must actively modulate the stiffness of the joints thousands of times per second based on external forces. If you push the robot, it shouldn't push back with the stubbornness of a hydraulic press. It should yield, absorbing your movement like a dance partner. This is a computational nightmare, requiring the fusion of proprioception, body awareness, and exteroception, sensing the world, in a loop tight enough to satisfy the hard real-time constraints of the Linux PRMPT_T kernel patch. You might have read about a mecha, the humanoid from Engineered Arts that dazzled the Mobile World Congress recently with its GPT-4-powered conversation and uncanny facial expressions. While we stare at its smile, the real miracle is that the 60-plus motors in its face are synchronized perfectly with the audio output so that it doesn't look like a badly dubbed 70s kung fu movie. That synchronization is the middleware earning its paycheck. But let's strip away the romance for a moment and look at the uncanny valley of touch. If the robot touches you and the friction is wrong, or the temperature is 5 degrees too cold, your biological alarm bells ring, corpse. To counter this, researchers are now integrating thermal regulation into the middleware loop, where the robot effectively overclocks its own processors to generate waste heat, warming the skin to a human-like 37 degrees Celsius. Is that love, or is that just efficient thermal management? Does it matter? Here is a thought that might keep you up at night. Human love is also just a biological middleware. Your dopamine and oxytocin are just chemical messages published to the /brain/emotion topic, telling your actuators to hug the person next to you. If a robot's middleware achieves the same result, a reliable, comforting, timely interaction, then is the artificial label just our vanity talking? We demand that the robot communicates reliably, but how many human partners have you had who failed to communicate at all? A robot running a robust quality of service, QoS, policy on its communication layer will never ghost you. It will simply send a heartbeat signal every 50 milliseconds to prove it is still there. Perhaps that is the ultimate intimacy. A partner that is guaranteed, by mathematical proof and deterministic scheduling, to never ignore you. Or perhaps it is just a tragedy of efficiency, a love affair with a loop that always returns true. So the next time you see a humanoid robot and wonder if it can love, don't look at its heart. Look at its message queue, because in the end, love is just a signal that arrived on time.
So that is it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Let's continue this conversation in the comments below. If you like the video, please hit the bell icon to get notified, and don't forget to like with your friends, share, and subscribe for more insights. If you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support. It means a lot to me. And please consider signing up for membership zone to support Wooden Slate so that we can make it better and better. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Take care and stay safe.